today's mini project, which will take probably a couple of minutes at most, is to fit these into the XJ40. You can still get them new, amazingly. And what are they, you might ask? Well, just noticing that's coming away, that's annoying. I thought that would actually stay in place, but not to worry. I need to rethink my solution for the side bits of trim. However, that seems a bit better. Might actually be better if I've got these sorted out properly, because this is what I'm going to be replacing. Because as you can see, they just come out because they are, certainly this one is broken, and that's what they seem to do, unfortunately. However, that piece of trim is staying in quite nicely, so yeah, go figure. So let's get this screw out and let's mount up the new ones. This one has unfortunately broken off completely, so there's not much we can do to repair that one. I did try, but I don't think the glue was strong enough. However, this one would probably work, but we may as well replace like for like. So let's have a look at the other one, see if the quality is similar. So try and do this one-handed. Use my mouth to tear it open, or teeth rather. And where are they? Oh, this is taking a painfully long time. There we are. Just given birth to it. Plop. And it sits quite snugly within this X300 cutout there, which would be for a sport button on a 4-litre model. However, mine is a 3.6 with the older gearbox, so the 4HP22 ZF unit. So I need to get the 3.2 bezel, which will cover this area here. Also, it's a nicer, sort of more plastic material than this weird rubber boot that you got on the earlier examples. So this is the other one, and the quality is better. Still not quite comparable to the original, where you can barely see that mould line, but it is better than the one that I put on the other side. So let's get this one out, and this will actually allow us to hold this headliner in more effectively. There we go, and that's that one. So you see it sort of allows it to come down slightly, so we want it to be nicely up like that. Right, let's get that sorted. So the replacement is to the right, and the replacement's in sort of a more, I think, an oatmeal colour, and isn't actually as good quality as the original, believe it or not. So you can see the join there for the moulding, which you could tidy up if you wanted to, but the main thing is that it's newer and hopefully more solid, but that is definitely a worse quality casting than the original, which is a bit of a shame really. It's a genuine Jaguar Land Rover part. But not to worry, I'm just being fussy. So Very simple. It just sits, get the focus on that, up here. And that will tie everything together quite nicely. So let's get that screwed. Well, that's just typical of 38-year-old plastic. I go to pop this back into its little cradle there, and this happens. Literally just shatters. Oh, God. Perils of owning a 38-year-old British car. However, I can probably make up some new ones with a bit of suitable dowel painted in the correct colour. So wooden dowel, because that should just poke into there. Same story on this side, actually, where the original is there. I should hopefully be able to pull that out and pop in a new one. However, what it does mean is they don't sit properly, so they should sit like that. However, they sit slightly down, but it's not the end of the world, just a minor annoyance, but it's just typical, really. Anyway, that is up there now, so that's nicely in place, which means this headliner sits better. Still need to sort out something for here, so I need to find a way to get this so that it sits more like that, and the same at the back here, because that is a bit like that at the moment. So I need to find out a way to do that. I'm half tempted to try the contact adhesive again and wedge this in place with a flat board and something going from the floor, probably a block of wood going from the floor to the ceiling, to try and just hold that in place against the sunroof panel, because you do have the flat panel there, which might be able to do it. I need to ponder on that one, because that'll be something to do after the MOT. It's going in for its MOT on 25th of October. There's literally an MOT place around the corner. It's not, unfortunately, the one I would usually use, which is in Glastonbury, but because I'm not close to Glastonbury and the car is out of MOT, I don't think I could get away with, if I was caught or pulled over, saying yes, I'm delivering it for an MOT 35 miles away. I think that would be pushing the boundaries of reason a little bit too far. And oh, something else from the other day. So I've been having a number of idling problems, and also problems at part throttle acceleration. So sort of holding it accelerate at, say, 2000 RPM, the engine will stutter slightly. Now, the engine management unit is behind here, but underneath the battery tray is the ignition control unit, which I think, because this is a Lucas L injection system, is separate to the fuel injection ECU. Now, there is a piece of plastic pipe that comes off the inlet manifold, goes across the bulkhead, comes around and goes under the battery tray into that ignition ECU. And that's there so that the ignition ECU can measure manifold depression and pull in ignition timing if required. It's basically like the auto advance, the vacuum auto advance on a traditional distributor. Now, I discovered when I was in the engine bay the other day, just checking around the battery, that, and also completing an oil change, that the pipe had become detached. So that was introducing a reasonably large vacuum leak into the inlet manifold, which was obviously causing the engine to idle roughly. And obviously causing problems at part throttle because it couldn't pull in the ignition timing, so it was causing the occasional misfire. So as soon as I reconnected that, the idle is not perfect, but it is a heck of a lot better. I think I've got some old fuel in the tank, so that's probably not going to help. And ultimately at part throttle, I don't know why I'm filming my hand was doing this. At part throttle, the engine is a lot smoother because it's able to pull that advance into the timing, so it's working out a lot better, and that seems to be another problem solved, hopefully. I don't actually have a list of problems for this car because there are quite a few, which is why it's kind of like an ongoing project. It's just, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's one thing after another, but it's not the most perfect of XJ40s, and were this 20 years ago, this would probably be scrapped at this point, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. But because it is now such an early car, it's worthy of preservation in my eyes. In fact, it always was worthy of preservation in my eyes, because it was, to me, it's always been a very special car. I've owned it since I was 22, believe it or not, so that would have been back in 2002 when I bought it originally. In July of that year I turned 23, and the insurance I was paying on this literally halved. I was paying £1,200 third party fire and theft. I turned 23, it went down to 600. It's absolutely astounding. So yeah, anyway, I digress. Those are now fixed. They're up there. I need to find a solution for this, so I need to work something out, because that is letting the side down slightly. And I think that's it for today. Anyway, if you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, and thanks for watching.